Don, Gino. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Okay, we are in the last segment with our very, very important guest today, Mr. Chris Ingram with Infinity Wealth Management, who is accountable to not just us here on the radio show on a regular basis as our guest expert, but also to you here in Santa Cruz. He's a local. He has a wonderful family out here. He's committed to his Santa Cruz ties. Goes to the gym with us at Afterburn Fitness on a regular day. Very dedicated individual. We see that all the time. In fact, he's our inspiration to stay focused at the gym, and that's the same focus you're going to get from him when he's handling your portfolios and giving you guidance on retirement goals and investment goals and what's important to your family. And one thing I have to say is, just like what we do here at Cherry Creek Mortgage, it's really not about who has the lowest rate or who's quoting the best returns. Bottom line is, are they asking you the right questions, the questions that matter to you and your family most? That is what makes up a good advisor, because they ask the right questions, because what is important to me might not be as important to Gino. Gino's got 18 kids. I don't have any. So his goals are different than mine and my wife Cindy's. So it's important to work with somebody who actually cares about you, is accountable to you, and I know Chris Ingram is. He does an amazing job. He stays calm, cool, and collected. And Chris, why don't you explain some of the clients you are working with, so a lot of you out there can go, hey, that's me. Chris can work with me. He can help me, because a lot of people think you have to have millions of dollars, or Chris won't work with you, or Chris can't help me if I have millions of dollars. I bet you can help both.
I can help both.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, no, I help a lot of people. So if not, I don't want to go as far as saying if you have a pulse, I can help you, but pretty close. I mean, I'm
pretty close.
willing.
Hey, I know I referred someone to you that was not a high dollar person. And needed a little extra hand-holding.
I spoke with her this morning, actually.
Did you?
Yeah,
You'll have to tell me.
So we're taking good care of her, and
Yeah.
she's great. So, yes, I would definitely help those clients. I had a client come to me the other day and said, my son, he's just getting started. Will you talk to him and educate him and help him out? And, the children of my clients, of course. Yeah, send your kid my way. I'll be happy to share everything I know with them and get them started. Love to do that. Love educating.
Especially that age. How great is that?
It's so much fun talking to the newly graduated from college, looking to get their first job, and they're excited about the future and what can I do and what should I do. It's so much fun to educate them and push them in the right direction.
A breath of fresh air.
I wish we would have done, hey, Scott, Ron, my high school buddies, did you get that when you graduated or got out of high school or college, huh?
Yeah,
we had to learn kind of on our own, so that's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of my clients do fall into that 40 to 60-year-old getting ready for retirement. We're maybe 10, 15, 20 years out from retirement, and we're really looking for, what can we do in this final stage to make sure that we're ready and ramped up for when retirement comes around. But here's the thing. I help people plan for their kids' college education. When their kids are born, we sit down and talk about how much they need to save. I have clients that are successfully retired that we're managing their income through retirement, making sure that they don't run out of money during retirement, or that they're
It's pretty common these days right now. Everybody's outliving their retirement.
Yeah, I mean, we're all living longer, spending more. People don't think about inflation when they're factoring in what cost of living is going to be during retirement. Pensions are going away. People are afraid Social Security is going away. We haven't had a bump in Social Security lately, so
I don't see that happening either.
No, it's just it's more.
No, it'll happen. It'll be 1%.
Yeah, what happened to the old 2.5% days? Yeah. They're gone. The thing to think about is during retirement is how much do you really need versus how much do you want to spend. A lot of people come in with these big numbers, but it's nice to figure out how much money do you have. You're retired. How much money can you get out of this investment that you have in order to be able to live a long, happy, healthy retirement lifestyle?
Well, that's key, because you actually work with their budget. I mean, like you said, somebody could come to you and say, I want to retire in 15 years and I need $1.3 million in my account. And then, of course, then the question is, why do you need that much? Can you put that much in and not completely have to live on the streets?
Right.
So there's got to be a balancing point, I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's important to look at those things, and you touched on something a little bit earlier. So when I sit down with a client to do a financial plan, I do the traditional, how much do you make, and what are your expenses, and what are they going to look like in the future, and when do you want to retire, and do you have a pension, all that stuff. And then when I get towards the end of the plan, I go, what are your dreams? I mean, do you want to continue living in your house? Do you want to live next to the beach? Do you want to move out of state? What do you want to see happen with your kids and their future? Things that I think a lot of advisors, they get to the end of the plan with, okay, you want to retire at age 60? I'll go crunch the numbers and we're done. And I try and expand on, what are the real dreams and goals of that individual, and how can I help them achieve those as well? So I try and take all of that stuff into account.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because sometimes maybe the difference between just making it and achieving your dreams can maybe not be a big difference if your time horizon's far away.
Yeah.
I
mean, we can plan, if we can plan for it, we should know what we need to do in order to get there. And I'm a believer in dream big. You only live once, so why shoot for just getting by? Let's figure out, what the big dream is. Let's figure out what we have to do. And then let's figure out what the big goal and dream is, and see if we can get there as well.
And another fun thing that I want to bring up, because a lot of you out there go, why should I do this? And it's such a hassle, and it's gonna change my lifestyle. But you get a lot of reward. I know a lot of your clients that you've helped figure out how to retire, and they actually retire. You actually get postcards from them traveling going, it couldn't happen unless you did this for us.
Yeah, I get emails with pictures of them, I don't know, at Mount Rushmore, like, hey, we're traveling the world and it's all because of you. Awesome. I love that. I had a client one day, she sent me a picture of her and her son standing in her son's dorm room. My son's going to college. We owe a lot of that to you and helping us plan for college education.
Well, you made that a pleasurable experience then. Because it could be the opposite. It's like, oh no,
Right.
How are we sending Johnny to school?
Right.
He got good grades, and now what?
Right.
Whereas that was obvious a pleasurable experience that they got to share with Johnny and not be stressful going,
Right.
Community college sounds good, right, son?
Right.
It's a big deal. So good for you to help. I mean, that's, so rewarding of our jobs. I mean, I know when we hand the keys we don't actually physically hand the keys, but our wonderful professionals do, but we let them come in here and literally ring the funding bell and ring their funding, push the funding button and ring the funding bell, because it's an emotional thing. It's a big deal for them to own their own home or get their next home, and it's great being part of that.
Never seen so many people be so excited to take on a huge debt.
It's the biggest debt they'll have ever.
It's awesome. They're
And
like, yay!
ear-to-ear smiles.
Well, that's why we say it's so important to manage it correctly, because if you don't get the right terms or understand the terms or be prepared, it could be a unpleasurable experience where it should be one of the most special experiences. And that's what I'm getting at is I know our clients are excited about it, and we're excited with them because we put a plan together, and we're friends now with them as you become. You ask their goals. How can you help them if you don't really know what's important to them?
Right.
So it's good that you do that. All right, so you're helping, again, beginner, but you also have some big portfolios that you're helping out. I mean, a lot of people don't know that, I have to go to some big name place, but that's not true.
No, I mean, I've talked about it before. Probably the biggest case I've ever been involved in, but a friend of mine and we were working on a case where the client had $110 million. So we can do very, very big things as well. I think people think they have to go to a big firm and be protected. I mean, all the companies I do business with are giants. I mean, I have clients at TD Ameritrade and Pershing. I mean, these are large clearing firms. Money is very, very safe. I think people think they have to go to this big, giant firm to feel comfortable with their big dollars, but it's just not true. And we take very good care of them. They get,
you get more personalized service. I can for sure say that we can do circles around the major banks out here, without a doubt, in professionalism, service, one-on-one, direction, consultation,
product, about everything.
Literally, we can do circles around major banks. People go, I feel most comfortable in them. I'm like, well, then you guys try to even see the same person over and over on that same place, and see if they're at that same institution in another 60 days. we give them a lot better personal service, and I know you could do the same.
Yeah, I mean, I have friends that work at all of those different companies, so I try not to go too far into that. But the good news is in 2003, I left a major Wall Street firm, and I became an independent financial planner. And part of doing that was because I wanted unlimited access to opportunities for my client. I wanted to be able to go find truly what was the very best for that individual based on their circumstances, being pigeonholed into a group of investments that were approved by my company, and they were forcing me to give to my clients. So I really wanted unlimited options for my clients.
Well, if you want unlimited options, reach out to Chris Ingram at Infinity Wealth Management. How can they get a hold of you again, buddy?
661-255-9555, extension 16, or email me, cingram@nextfinancial.com.
Very cool. Thank you again for sharing great information. Again, I learned a lot. And you can always find a ton of information by going to donandgino.com. 586 videos there for you with some great professionals. Thank you for joining us every Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Stay tuned. More good stuff to come.